Today we're making soap with dragon's blood sage and Palo Santo oil. So first we're going to open the bundle of sage, break about a third of it or half of it off. Here we're just picking out the stems because we just want the leaves. You can see we just got the leaves in there. Now we're going to use our mortar and pestle to grind them down. Get them all nice and ground up. You can see we're getting a real fine grind on there. We want it to disperse nicely in the soap and release all those lovely scents. I'm going to add the quinoa, which we're using as an exfoliant, to the dragon's blood sage, just to keep them in the same place, and because I'll mix them at the same time. So I just added the red quinoa to that, so it'll be in the same spot, ready to mix. Now we're going to measure out our lye mixture, half Moonwater, for those who know what Moonwater is, and then half Ogden spring water, or Ogden stump water, frog water they call it, and then the lye. So we're going to very carefully add the lye, and then we're going to stir that through, and you'll know it's good and blended when it starts to clear. It'll go from white to more clear. We're going to check the temperature of it here in a sec. Usually it'll be almost 200 degrees when you're done mixing. This time around it was about 130. I thought you'd be able to see it on the thermometer, which is fine. We're going to set that off to the side. Now we're going to mix our colorant. We're using a little bit of hemp seed oil as a carrier to help disperse the colorant. I'm adding the Palo Santo to this, again, just to keep it in the same place. We're going to add it at the same time. And then our mica for colorant. Doesn't take a whole lot. You mix it in a disperser or a carrier oil to help it disperse through your main batch a little bit better. It's very difficult to get it thoroughly mixed if you add it to your whole entire batch of batter. So you mix it with a carrier first to help it disperse. Set that to the side. We're going to measure out our oils. Hemp seed oil, avocado oil. My proportions and measurements are proprietary, sorry, but use a good soap calculator, and something repeatable, make sure you know what you're doing. Coconut oil here, and then the lard. I like the lard to be a little warmer when I mix it, so it doesn't look very appetizing at this part, I know, but it comes out beautiful. Set that aside to warm, and here's our intermission. We come back, bring our lye mixture out again. You're going to see me add the oil to the lye. If you've watched my previous videos, you know that I do this to minimize the number of vessels in my workshop that contain lye, that I have to wash lye out of. Hit that with the stick blender, and we actually get to what's called a false trace. I didn't know this was going to happen, so this is good for the video. A false trace, if you're using quite a bit of coconut oil in your mixture and you blend at a low temperature, sometimes your coconut oil will start to thicken before you've actually reached trace in your batter. So you get a false trace, you just blend right through it, it'll go away, and then you'll get back to your real trace later. The coconut oil will warm up with the friction and with the chemical reaction that's happening between the oils and the lye. And because we reached a false trace with this and it was taking a little bit longer to work with, I decided to do a color swirl. Just decided on the fly. And we'll get to that. So here I'm adding the quinoa and the dragon's blood sage. Just going to shake that in real nice. And then blend it. Now we're going to add our colorant. Again, that's in that hemp seed oil for a carrier. And the Palo Santo essential oil is in there too. So we got every last drop out of there that we could. And then get it good and blended. going to separate some of this out to do a color swirl with. Normally, again, you want to use a carrier oil when you're using colorant, but because I'm blending such a small amount off to the side, it wasn't necessary. So a little bit of extra colorant in there. It's a different shade of red that I used, a bright red instead of the other one's a brick red, I believe. That's a mica colorant, if I haven't mentioned that already. Get that good and blended, and then we're just going to work each piece of the batch until we get up to trace. So you can see there we've reached a good light trace with our batter, and we're ready to pour. Get our mold out. And I am still learning to be good at color swirls. So I really struggle with it. I believe part of it is my equipment, because it's better to use. They make these long neck spout vessels that you can use that allow you to pour the oil kind of gently into there. It's like a very long, almost like just a very long spout on it, so you can gently pour the oils together. I don't have those yet. So my color mixes aren't fantastic yet. I think the soap comes out beautiful because I like that kind of rustic, unplanned look, but it's not like some of the really, really artistic stuff you'll see out there yet. Still learning to be good at it. Of course, it doesn't affect the performance of the soap at all or anything like that. Just trying to do something kind of artistic there. Try and get good swirls in there. It come out a little mottled, I guess is the word. You'll see. But it was fun to try. Definitely fun to try. Again, scrape out every last bit that we can. Try and keep costs down. Try and keep value up. And then a little bit of decorative red quinoa across the top of the soap. Again, using that as an exfoliant. This is the first time I've used red quinoa as an exfoliant. It was kind of fun to work with. It came out real nice in this soap. So again, we just put a little decorative band across the top just to make it pretty. And we're going to close that. And then through the magic of movies, boom, 2 days later, here we are unmolding the soap. I'm going to press in on the edges here, kind of bevel the edge of the soap, make it easier to peel out. Then we're going to peel our soap loaf out of the mold. You can see how that turned out. It comes out of the mold nice and clean if you bevel those edges a little bit. Just press them in. The soap is still very soft. It's about the same consistency as clay. Now we're going to cut. Okay, and now again I'm beveling those edges to make the soap more gentle to use. We got some feedback from some customers that it was a little sharp. We're just going to get all those done. Brand the soap now. There's our brand. And there you have it. Dragon's Blood Sage and Palo Santo soap with quinoa exfoliant. Thanks for watching, everybody.